Alright, so in today's video, I'm going to show you how to turn any room that you have at any budget that you have at your disposal into a professional studio to film high quality content. Now, if you're new here on the channel and you don't know us, I'm Alessio and together with my business partner, Brian, we've been posting content now for almost 2 years, actually even longer than that since I have a background as a filmmaker. And in today's video, I just want to show you how powerful lighting can be and how, thanks to knowing exactly how to leverage lighting, you can create a nice setup to create content for yourself, regardless of the room that you have at your disposal, and most importantly, regardless of the budget that you have at your disposal. So, with that being said, let's get straight into this video. Now, before even showing you some sets, the first thing that I want to mention, and this will be, let's say, step 0 of the 4 different sets that I will show you depending on the budget that you have at your disposal. So this step 0 is understanding how important and how powerful lighting is. And it is so important because you don't necessarily need a professional camera or that much of a professional equipment to create good content. That is probably the biggest misconception that people have. And so to prove my point, this whole video and at least the whole clips that I'm going to show you to prove that they can actually look good are going to be shot on a simple iPhone. So of course the video that you're seeing right now is shot on a camera, but simply because that's more practical. But the clips that I will actually show you will be shot directly on this iPhone. So with that being said, we can start with set number 1. Now, set number 1 will be if you have $0 of budget. Now, of course, this can be the situation, but don't worry, don't panic. We can actually create something pretty good still, even with that budget, even with a non-existent budget, let's say. Let's get started, and I will also pull up my camera on my phone and I will start a screen recording here so that you will be able to see at the same time both the behind the scenes, so how I'm actually setting this up, and how it actually looks on camera in the final result. So the first thing that I want to mention, you really have to understand the importance of the distance between the light sources. Now, of course, with 0 budget, we will actually use natural lighting. And so as you can see right now, I have my big window open. And so I will be able to just leverage the light of the sun. And so of course you will have to shoot during the day. We can still keep in mind some very important factors that we can leverage to make our scene look better. Now, the first one, as I was mentioning, is the distance from the light source. This is really, really important, and this applies also if you're using artificial lighting. You always have to try to be as close as possible to your light source and as far as possible from your background. Now, of course, this will depend on the room that you're in and the room that you have at your disposal. I will show you live the example so that I will prove my point. And this is exactly how I would shoot videos if I had $0 of budget, okay? So I will take my window, the biggest one that you have in your house, and possibly in the biggest room that you have in your house, and I will literally place myself in front of the window. So as you can see, right now I will also pop up on screen the shot from my phone. So you can see that this already looks pretty darn good. You can see, you can even, if you want, just move a little bit around to see where the sun hits better. Okay, depending also on what you have outside, what might reflect a little bit of light. But this is already a really great setup to create content. And you can see I could actually be filming a video right now like this. So let me just show you real quick what happens if I move, for example, right here. I am much darker, okay? So your attention immediately falls off of my face, and I'm pretty much as lit up as my background. And so I will also then just show you a couple of clips, and I will probably just pull up on screen both clips. So one from here, okay, from me being really close to the background and far from my window, and then also one in which instead I'm, for example, like this, very close to my window and very far from the background. And so I will pull up both clips on screen at the same time, so you will be able to see how much of a difference it makes. Okay, so this is why it's really, really crucial and really important to understand this concept on lighting, because even if you have $0, you can make your set and your setup look better in your content. All right, so off to set number 2, and this, as you can guess, is with artificial lighting. This will be for just a budget of $50, for example, and we will be using a light like this. Okay, this is a simple LED light, and of course, the first step that you want to take, especially if you have a light that's not that powerful, is close off and block off any natural lighting that you have. And so this is really important because of course we can't really compete with the sun, unfortunately. Even if you have a really powerful light, that will be unlikely. We're going to take our LED panel and I'm going to show you live how this looks. As you can see right here, same exact concept that I was explaining before. So you will want to be really far from your background and really close to your light source. Now I'm holding it with my hand just for the sake of simplicity, but of course keep in mind that you can just get a kind of tripod or even hang it to the wall. Sometimes some of these lights are even magnetic, and so you can just attach them to something. Literally like this, same exact concept that I explained before, which is why it's really, really important, far from the background, so that everything behind me is really dark and really close to my light source. And as you can see, this looks like a really great set. I could literally be filming a short form video like this, and the advantage of course of having an artificial light is that I can literally film it at any time of the day and fundamentally in any room. Even if I have a room that doesn't have windows or doesn't have access to that much natural lighting, I could literally just be filming like this. This is set number 2, really, really powerful, and now we're going to step it up even more. So off we go to set number 3, and as you can probably imagine already, this is going to be adding a little bit of color. Now, what I have here is a simple tube light. Now, this is something, for example, that you can get probably for another 50 bucks. And so bringing up the cost, the total cost of the set to 100 bucks, I'm going to show you now exactly how this looks. Now, same exact thing. I want to have my main light really close to me and far from my background, okay, so that there is separation between me and the background. And as you can see, this is literally a full set. This is what you could be using to record professional content. I literally just have my iPhone, so your phone, something that you probably have, or you might even be watching this video from, and I just have my main light right here, my $50 LED light, and I have my $50 tube light. That's nothing crazy expensive, guys, I promise you. Look at how good this looks. And why is color so powerful? Because it adds branding to your videos, and so it makes you recognizable. This is literally something that we've been doing in all of our videos that you can see on Instagram, and we actually do use blue exactly as our color, and you can literally just add a color that you use in all of your videos and makes you recognizable. So this is incredibly powerful. This is literally a full setup. You don't necessarily even need anything better than this one. I'm still going to show you a final setup. This is literally all you need to record content, just to prove my point. This is it for this set. And now I'm actually going to switch up to our studio because I already have everything set up there. And I'm going to show you the final setup, which will be a $500 setup, and this I will still show you from the phone what it looks like. And again, I promise you, this is already incredibly good. It doesn't get that much better than this, especially if you're recording from a phone. If you're recording from a camera, you might see a little bit of a difference, especially when it comes to using a little bit more powerful lighting, but this is literally all you need. And so now off we go to set number 4. All right, so off to the last set, number 4. And as you can see, we are here in our content studio. So this is actually the set that we use right now for all of our videos. To prove my point, I will still show you the final results shot with a phone, okay? So I will just sit down real quick, get set into position, and then switch and also add this on top of this recording. So as you can see, this is what the final result looks like with a set like this. Mentioning this because it's really important. This room unfortunately is not as big as the other one we have, and so of course I have a little bit of the limitation of the fact that the background is not as far from me as in the other scenes that I showed you. But at the same time, I want you to notice also how we decided to place this room. I decided to put all of this diagonal throughout the room, because this way I actually still have a lot of space behind me, or at least the most that I can get out of this room. Now, as you can see, this is really a professional setup that looks incredibly good, and that's actually what we use for all of our content, even though we actually shoot with a camera. With that being said, just breaking down real quick the setup. You will notice the principles that I explained are exactly the same as before. We have our main light right here, and as you can see, it's as close as possible to me to make sure that I'm well lit, and at the same time, of course, it still doesn't appear on camera. Really important. This one, it's not that expensive, really, really powerful, really, really effective. This is literally just an LED light that's a little bit bigger with a nice softbox on top and a grid to direct the light, okay? So I will actually show you real quick. Let me just turn this. As you can see, nice softbox, grid, and that's it. And this is really powerful as a main light. Since I have just one light, I do have a second one right here that's less powerful. This is called filler light. And as you can see, even if I place my hand right here to create shadow, even if I had to turn it off real quick. So let me just find the button right here. There. As you can see, this still works perfectly fine. It's just a little bit more dramatic. And so again, I have my main light. In this case, will be a little bit more on the side. And then I have my filler light right here. And as you can see, I have my RGB light to add the color to the background. This is the finished set. This is approximately around the $400-$500 mark, probably, depending also on what kind of lights you find specifically. Like this, from these brands, I don't even remember, to be fair, exactly what they are. We'll probably just link some in the description. Again, super simple. These are just LED panels, and this is a LED light with a softbox and a grid on top. You can probably find something around the $400-$500 mark. And if on top of this set you also add a professional microphone, for example, like the one that I'm holding right now, and a professional camera, you literally have the best setup possible that you can even imagine, okay? So this is literally everything that we actually use for our content as well. With that being said, I'll wrap up the video, and I will also want to mention that we do have some other tutorials, some other videos here on our YouTube channel, in which we help you also not only with the aspect of how your content looks, but also how your content performs. So if you want to grow on social media, if you want to grow on Instagram, we grow an audience of more than 400,000 followers, and so we help people and we teach people exactly that. And if you're interested at any point in working directly with us to grow your personal brand, you can just check out the description under this video. So with that being said, I'll wrap up the video, and we'll see you in the next one.